The top 5 updates that you need to know of the Russia-Ukraine war. Number 1, Ukraine gives war update. Ukraine says after 3 days of Russia's war, the fighting is where it began. The Russian army has not been able to advance but is attacking Kyiv. Update number 2, viewers. Fire at Petroleum base in Vasylkiv. After shelling of Kyiv and the outskirts, the fire breaks out at the Petroleum base in Vasylkiv, 40 kilometers away from Kyiv. Update number 3. There's an airstrike at radioactive waste disposal site near Kyiv. Ukraine's nuclear agency says radioactive waste disposal site near Kyiv hit by airstrike. No evidence of a leak so far. Update number 4. Ukraine says 198 civilians killed since Thursday. Ukraine says Russian troops are advancing from all the directions. President Zelensky vows Kyiv will never give in to the Kremlin. These are the top 5 updates that you need to know this morning. We're getting you all the details right here. First on India Today. Maria joins us live now from Ukraine in just about a bit. But 5 updates we brought to you, if I could just encapsulate in a short way. Number 1, Ukraine has given war updates. We brought you those updates. There's a fire at a petroleum base in Vasylkiv. Vasylkiv, remember, is 40 kilometers right away from Kyiv. Number 3, airstrike at radioactive waste disposal site near Kyiv. Ukraine says 198 civilians killed since Thursday. Number 5, President Zelensky vows Kyiv will never give in to the Kremlin. Maria is now joining us from Kyiv in Ukraine. What is the situation this morning right there? Maria, what's going on at the moment? If you could get our viewers up to speed with the top updates coming in from Kyiv.
Right, morning. Here in Kyiv now we have a kind of a period of 2 hours of some rest, of some peace without any sounds of explosions or shelling. But because the night shelling started at 9 o'clock in the evening and finished just 2 hours ago when it was already 2 in the morning. And so all the time we had to stay again in shelter, in the bomb shelter, because the intelligence report announced that the shelling would be extremely tough, extremely dangerous, and the Russians will use every type of weapon they have left, and will use the heavy artillery and also missiles they have. So we did indeed heard the very powerful strikes sitting in a bombshell here in the city center of Kyiv. And the reports say that in Kyiv, in the city, the shelling started with artillery strikes targeted at different directions, so they were chaotic. Somewhere from the place at the bank of Dnipro River, and the videos which were released on social media show that the shelling was close to the Ministry of Infrastructure.
Ukraine is saying that Russian troops are advancing from all directions, and this is a bit worrisome at the moment. What is the stance of President Zelensky on the back of this development?
Yeah, right. So as we've seen in this video and as we've heard sitting in this bomb shelter, the artillery shelling was really very chaotic, and we already do not understand which objects they target, because first it was the list of military objects, military infrastructure, and now they're targeting the shelling even from the residential quarters of Kyiv. So that was the first major shelling at night, and then the second one was happening not in Kyiv but in the outskirts of the capital, 50 kilometers from the capital, from the city center, in the city of Vasylkiv. It's like a smaller city, a smaller town close to the capital where a lot of people live, and then they usually go from Vasylkiv to Kyiv for work and return to Vasylkiv to sleep. And there are also a lot of military infrastructure in Vasylkiv. So a military unit a small airport and a petroleum base. And after the shelling of Vasylkiv, a fire started at the petroleum base, which is still hasn't been put down by the firefighters. And the videos showing these terrible flames and smoke have surfaced on social media, and the official report by the Kyiv City Council was released that the people here in Kyiv should keep their windows shut because of the threat of the smoke coming from Vasylkiv Petroleum Base to Kyiv. But it's a difficult situation because we need to keep our windows open so that we can hear the sirens, the air alarm in case they go, and we indicating that we have proceed to the shelters. But at the same time, we need to close windows because of the threat of smoke. So the situation is really ambivalent. And,
so from what I'm understanding from you, Maria, the situation is rather very tense. Maria, the official figures that are out say that 198 civilians have been killed so far. Could the real count be higher in your opinion? Because you're there at the war front, you know exactly what's going on, Maria.
You're right. We have seen these numbers of civilian casualties and more than 1,000 people injured. These numbers are really disturbing. And as far as I know, as far as I see, these casualties, those who died in the attacks of Russians, looks like a number which is pretty reasonable because the military actions are not like all over the country, but they are like on different spots, but a lot of spots. And as we've seen this bombing of the shelling of the residential buildings this morning and the previous morning, so these numbers really look like they are true. Right.
Thanks for joining us this morning, Maria. You please stay safe. We'll keep coming back to you for more.